Hello, my name is Bruce, and I'm concerned about my son. Every night when he comes home, he's been upset, and I've tried to talk with him to see what the concern is. It seems like he's being picked on. I feel like other kids are taking his money and he's being bullied. So I'm very concerned about this issue. And I thought perhaps the school would be able to do something about this. So I wanted to come here to talk with you. Again, I want my son to be happy, and he seems very emotional when he comes home from school. Again, I'm very concerned.
I appreciate your concern. I'm sorry, I'm not familiar with your little boy. Could you tell me his name and the name of his teacher, please?
My son's name is, and then his teacher's name is Miss L something.
Okay. Yes. I think I remember him now. Has he told you the names of the children that are picking on him?
Yeah, there's been several boys. And the boys are taking advantage of him and picking on him. You know, and I'm thinking about taking him to the deaf school. I feel like at this school, the hearing boys are really picking on him, and I'm really considering possibly moving him. I've talked with the teachers a few times, and nothing's come of it.
When you talked with the teacher, did you have an interpreter, or were you just trying to communicate through writing notes?
We were writing notes back and forth. And it seemed like the teacher wasn't really doing her best to work with me. So it was really frustrating just trying to write notes back and forth.
Did you make an appointment, or did you just show up?
I just showed up. I did not have an appointment. I had tried to call her and talk with her many times prior to this, and she just wasn't even working with me, not even willing. So then I showed up to talk with her, and it's like she's not at all being cooperative. So that's why I came to talk with you.
I'm really glad that you came to talk with me today, Mr. Clark. And I'm wondering if part of the problem is a communication problem between you and the teacher. I think in the future it would probably be a good idea for us to get an interpreter. When you meet with Mrs. Fowler, if we could get an interpreter, then I think there would be better communication between the two of you. And I will arrange for that. I would like to arrange for a meeting and hire an interpreter, and then maybe the three of us could meet. But I need some more information from you. Tell me again specifically, when did he first start to cry and complain about going to school? Tell me everything he has told you about the other boys that are picking on him. Where does it happen? When does it happen? How often does it happen? Tell me all of that information, and then we'll try to help you.
Okay. So really it started at the beginning of the school year. The first day, he came home and was all right. But then in the following days, he came home crying and upset. So I sat down with him, and he was just crying and crying. I was like, okay, what's going on? What's going on? And he told me that boys were picking on him in class, and the teacher saw it happening, saw the bullying happening in class, and told the kids to stop. And then also on the bus, and the bus driver is doing nothing about it. The kids are picking on him, but the bus driver is not intervening. The kids' names are, I think there's a Kelly, and it's all pretty much boys that are picking on him. The girls are nice to him. I think of the other boys' names. LJ is one of them. And then I think I heard a Kelly. There are about a group of 5 of them that are ganging up on him. And I feel like they're trying to take advantage of him and control him, and that his deafness is one of the reasons they're doing this. And I'm very upset that my son's worried about this. You know, he's 8 years old. He's a young child, and he should not be experiencing this. So I wanted to have this talk with you to try to get it resolved.
I understand a little better now. It's pretty normal for 8-year-old boys to pick on each other. And while we certainly don't want your little boy to go home and cry, it really is pretty normal for little 8-year-old boys to pick that kind of little boy behavior. I think a big part of the problem is that we have never had a deaf child at this school before. And so many of our children really don't understand. Do you have any ideas about how we could help our staff and our students understand more about deafness?
Have an interpreter come in and kind of explain, you know, deaf culture to the teachers, to the principal, to the staff here at the school, and then also to work with the kids and just kind of inform everyone and explain about deafness and about deaf culture and how to interact. He says it's normal for boys to pick. I understand that, but I feel like because he's deaf, he's being bullied more. And I feel like the kids are taking advantage of him, and that's not right. So again, to have an explanation of deaf culture is very important, and that would help people understand, I think.
What exactly is deaf culture? I don't think I've heard that word before.
Deaf people and hearing people, they have a different language. In hearing people, their language, the word structure, the word order, the grammatical structure of their language is different than ASL. It's like, you know, even a foreign language, how foreign language is different than English, ASL is also different. So to be able to understand ASL as a language, I feel like you and everyone else is a little bit clueless about that. ASL is a visual language. So if you would meet people that were deaf, I think you would understand, but you haven't had experience with deaf people. So it's hard for you to really understand deaf culture.
I don't believe I've ever seen a deaf adult. How would I go about finding a deaf adult to come in and talk to my staff? Where are deaf people?